social media. Murthy wrote this week in a New York Times opinion piece that social media is, quote, associated with significant mental health harms for adolescents, and said that a warning label will help better inform parents about the risks. But are warnings something that are necessary, and how damaging is social media?
The government got to tell you how to raise your child.
We're joined now by a clinical psychologist who studies social media and kids. Michaeline Jensen is an associate professor of clinical psychology at the University of North Carolina at Greensboro. Welcome to the program.
Thanks for having me.
So based on the research, how damaging is social media actually to adolescents' health?
So overall, the research around how social media impacts mental health for young people is really nuanced, and the conclusions are not consistent with a very simple social media harms mental health warning message as proposed by the Surgeon General this week.
Okay.
In general, it's complicated, basically, I guess is the answer. Yeah. And we can't conclude that at population level, social media causes changes in adolescent mental health.
So is there something to the idea of putting a warning label on social media? Are there certain sites that may damage kids or hurt their mental health and others that don't?
So social media, or warning labels rather, more broadly, can be effective in the sense that they bring awareness and they often point people towards what to do instead of a risky activity. So we don't know at all that social media in general causes mental health harms, nor indeed even that certain platforms are more harmful. Rather, what we know is that some types of engagement on different platforms that are social media can be harmful to adolescent mental health. So take, for example, engaging in unhealthy social comparisons. So for example, around physical appearance or physical bodies, that can be harmful to self-esteem and body image and even disordered eating. But that is not the only way that young people are engaging on social media. And indeed, many youth are not engaging in social media in that way at all.
So you say it's complicated. I mean, what do you think overall of what Murthy's proposing here?
So the idea of a warning label, I think, is interesting in the sense that he's drawing attention, and I want to applaud him for this, to a really significant mental health challenges that are currently faced by adolescents today. That part is very important, and I applaud him for that. However, mental health difficulties themselves are complicated, and they never have a single cause.
Right.
So it's hard to say that slapping a warning label on social media will do a measurable amount to improve adolescent mental health.
Are there things about social media that have been good when it comes to adolescents?
You shouldn't have to tell parents that.
There certainly are. So indeed, young people tend to report that their online experiences are more positive than negative, and certain types of engagement on social media are particularly beneficial. So for instance, the extent to which young people are engaging on social media for social interaction and connection, especially for youth who are experiencing social isolation offline. So we saw that very clearly during the pandemic, that helps them. We also see that young people who are marginalized in some way in their offline lives, they benefit pretty considerably from online social support and social networks, especially if they lack those supports in their offline lives. So we've seen that type of evidence for, say, LGBT.
Oh my God, shut up with that nonsense. You saying basic stuff that a 5-year-old could tell you. Of course, when you use something positively, you're going to get positive results. How much of an idiot are you? Wow. Really? We're talking about it being used negatively. A child shouldn't be concerned about body image issues, things like that social media generates. You doofus.
That do work for them. So parents need guidance around how to maximize these potential benefits and minimize the potential harms. They don't really need another person just telling them to watch out without any guidance on how to do that.
Yeah.
If they're not doing it, somebody got to do it, because the dumb parent just letting the stuff happen. Train a child in the way he should go, and when he is old, he will not depart from it. But if you don't train him, who do you think is training them? Somebody's training that child. You better bet it. How about the devil? Because he's all involved in social media and everything else in this world. Disney and these subliminal messages that they put in stuff. You sound like a real idiot, lady. These parents need all the help they can get in order to raise these children right.
their peers. But young people see both advantages and disadvantages. They say that they're less distracted and more connected to their peers face to face, but maybe it's a little bit more chaotic during passing periods. So I think only time will tell as we see evidence about whether learning and other outcomes can improve with things like cell phone bans on school campuses.
Michaeline Jensen is an associate professor of clinical psychology at the University of North Carolina at Greensboro. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
She's an idiot. NPR or morning.
And number 3 are about.
Yeah. She need to be fired because all she did was spout off a bunch of statistical things that didn't even apply in the scenario. Didn't even apply. Like, of course, if you use social media the right way, you're going to get positive results. So, what are you saying, lady? That's not what the ban warning label is for. It's for parents who aren't parenting. To let you know, hey, unsupervised social media usage is not okay for individuals under a certain age. So pay attention, parent. Be a parent, parent. Start parenting, parent. You got so many people out here that have children, but they don't parent. And generally it's because they never received parenting themselves. I'm one of those. But unlike them, I went and learned how to be a parent. If you don't know how to be a parent, they got an app for that. Huh? Using your smartphone smart instead of being stupid about it. Yeah, they got an app for that. They also have courses online and in real life where you could go and interact with other people. Stop being a recluse. You low self-esteem individual, you introvert. We got to stop raising up weak individuals. Stop allowing kids to be bullies and stop allowing other kids to doggone be weak. You raising them to be weak. A woman cannot teach a male how to be a man. If you think that, you are sadly mistaken. Sadly mistaken. So, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, you need to get that in order. Get it in order right now. I'm quite sure you got some uncles or some brothers or some neighbors that have some type of ethical background that you can put in the life of your child. I'm quite sure. If you don't, there's an app for that. Use that thing you got in your hand for something other than making you feel less than. That's what the label is for. Because some people don't know how to control it. To go on a deeper level, you do understand that there are varying levels of mental illness in the world. So some people really do need parenting, even though they're an adult. Go figure. Yeah, so get it together, people. Get it together. If you don't know what you're doing, there's an app for that. If there isn't an app for that, there's classes or a course you can take online. A lot of times it's free, so there's no excuse for you to remain ignorant, except that you just like being ignorant. Once you become knowledgeable, it does require work. You do have to start doing something. So maybe that's why a lot of you don't seek things out. I don't know what that's about. That's for you to figure out. Be blessed, family. We're all family. We all came from the same. And we need to start acting like it. Start hating on these people that's pumping hate, that's creating issues in our world. Like the rich, who don't pay their fair share in taxes, if they pay anything at all. It's so sad for people to expect those who can't shoulder the burden to shoulder the burden. Regular people don't make nearly amount the income that rich people make. If anybody should be carrying the burden of paying taxes, it should be the rich. They have the money to do it. But what do? They shirk their responsibility. They shirk it. They pass it on to the poor. If you're making under $100,000 a year, you're poor. And expect them to take up their slack. Wow. Wow. How sorry are you, rich people? If you take those benefits, tax benefits that they give you as a rich person, you are sorry. Sorry, sorry. I don't even want to consider you an American. Because you're not. That's the most un-American thing there is. Not to pay taxes. The IRS need to target all rich people. They do. Cut those tax breaks they have, and in 1 year, guess what? America will be out of debt and have a surplus of money all of a sudden, because it's being created by the rich people. They sit up and take all the profit, pay us peanuts, and then don't pay their fair share. Wow. When are they going to fix that one? Yeah, how about never? 32nd of the month. So don't get me started, because I'll tell it all. You think Trump telling truth? Nah, he part of the problem. He is part of the problem. He need to be dealt with along with all the rest of those rich people in America and all over the world. We are the world, the working class, and we should decide what happened in the world, not these rich people. We can make a change, world, if we just get our stuff together. Be blessed, world.